Now, a lot of women try to fight the signs of aging or maybe lose weight, but you may not be able to do both at once. One doctor, in fact, says that fat is your friend as you age.
Yeah, Dr. Anthony Yoon is a board-certified plastic surgeon, and he's joining us now to explain. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me on.
All right, so first tell us, why is fat our friend as we age?
Well, this is not only women, but men too. As we get older, we lose volume in our face, and certain faces lose more volume than others. And in general, then, this loss of volume is an aging process, and that's why people started doing injectable fillers. Now, obviously, in Hollywood, you've seen people overdoing them, but the idea about adding volume back into the face as anti-aging or a youth-preserving type of a treatment is a real one, and it's valid.
Yeah, I mean, you see that. You see people put it, put it right there. But I don't know if that's as common now. But losing fat in the face is actually a downside of taking a diabetes drug out there, Ozempic, which a lot of people are taking now to lose weight. So people are ending up with a face that looks a little more hollowed out as a result. Correct?
Yeah, and there's some people who are finding that this kind of side effect of massive weight loss of volume in the face can really profoundly change how they look. And there have been reports of people saying that they hardly recognize themselves with their face changing so much.
Right.
So is there any way to actually avoid losing fat in your face during weight loss?
Unfortunately, there isn't. And I don't think that there's anything necessarily with Ozempic that is causing this preferentially. Anytime you lose a significant amount of weight, you're going to lose some of it in your face too. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. So I would encourage people, don't worry so much about the face. We do have options to help treat fat loss in the face. Lose the weight, get yourself healthy, work with your doctor on what's best for you.
Is there a way to reverse the effect if you're worried about that? If you're worried that your face looks too gaunt or it looks too hollow, is there a way to reverse that?
Totally. So we can do it surgically by taking fat from a different area and injecting it into the cheeks and other parts of the face. Or you can do it much easier with injectable fillers. And these are basically things that you can do just off the shelf, no downtime with it. Just do it conservatively. Don't overdo it because you don't want to look like a Real Housewife of Beverly Hills if you can help it.
Ooh.
All right.
You went there.
Okay.
All right.
Well, it's also important to stress that Ozempic is meant for people with type 2 diabetes, but some doctors are prescribing it for weight loss. So what are some of the other downsides to people taking this and that they should be aware of?
Well, it's really important to realize that there are side effects with a medication like this. There are reports of pancreatitis and other types of potential illnesses. The other thing that we don't know of is long-term. How does your body react to this? If you go off of the medication, are you going to gain the weight back? So it's so important with any type of a weight loss plan, work with your doctor, make sure that you look at this as a long-term type of a thing, not just a short-term, hey, let me lose some weight and then, get off of it.
So let me ask you a question. We saw Madonna just recently at the Grammys. There has been a lot of back and forth about her face. Obviously that is, I don't know what, I guess fillers. What are your thoughts about that? Because I do think that, there's some ways that you become unrecognizable. That doesn't necessarily look youthful. That just looks different.
Yeah, and I do wonder, she was the only celebrity at the Grammys that presented that didn't have a close-up. And I do wonder if it's not just filler, but maybe she had some type of a reaction. I've seen her on social media recently. She's all over it, and she looks different than she did just a few weeks ago. So it could be swelling from something for all we know.
Yeah, I was just curious about that.
I feel like I'm getting more fat to my face as I age.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel. I was looking for some hollowness.
All right, well, Doctor,
that's common.
Well, Doctor,
no, I said that's common as well.
Yeah.
Oh.
We
went the other way.
Right. All right, Dr. Yoon, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
All right, for more skincare tips, you can follow Dr. Anthony Yoon on TikTok at Dr. Yoon.